Welcome back to VP4TV, and I don't know whether anybody was watching the stream the other night, a couple of nights ago. I don't know how the conversation got round to this, but I know that I mentioned the macro feature in VP4, or the actual help feature, which I think Steve mentioned, because most people don't know about it. If you hit / in the chat, let me just get rid of that, hit / hit help, it brings up text in the chat lobby. Now, this isn't something that appears in the chat in the lobby and everybody can see it, only you can see it, but there are shortcut keys that allow you to do things within VP4. Now, there's stuff there that, if you read it, it tells you what it does, but there's one function which is macros. Now, I've never used macros in anything on a computer. I don't understand them, I never have done. But macros is a feature that you can use in VP4. Now, again, my idiot's guide to what a macro is this. A macro is a feature that allows you to save a line of text. So say something that you use regularly in the chat, and you can invoke that macro. You can bring that macro up in the chat by using a shortcut key. But first of all, you have to save it on that shortcut key. It doesn't explain it in simple, plain, numpty-proof English language in the instructions in VP4. It never has done. I've told Steve that, which is why I couldn't get macros to work. What I needed was somebody to explain it in an idiot's language that I could understand. Now, I got a PM from Fast Eddie yesterday, and he asked me, he said, have you got those macros working? And I said, of course I haven't. I don't understand it. I don't understand the instruction. Now, I don't see anything mentioned in there about macros and using the quotes button. There's no mention of it. The reason that there's no mention of it is because the person that wrote this instruction assumes that you understand that. They make an assumption that you understand that. And of course, if you don't understand macros, you won't understand a process of creating a macro if you're not told that. If you're not told to put it in quotes text, you won't do it. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. So let's show you how to do a macro in a numpty-proof, simple way of explaining it. So we want to save our first line of text, whatever it might be. So what you do is you hit / in the chat, hit Mac, M-A-C, then you've got to use your shift key in a minute. So the shift key is on the left-hand side of your keyboard, just above the corner where it says control. You'll get shift. We'll do that in a second. So at the moment we'll get / Mac, and now the next button that you're going to press is your space bar. Leave a space. Then the next thing you're going to do is what button do you want to save your first macro as? Now, the obvious one to do is number 1. So this macro is going to be saved as macro number 1. Then you do space again. Then this is where you hit the shift key. So you hit the shift key and then you hit number 2 on the top of your keyboard, because those buttons where the numbers are at the top of your keyboard have 2 functions. And you'll notice that on the number 2, there is a quotes symbol above number 2 on your keyboard. So if you hit the shift key and hit number 2, you'll get the opening quote. Then, this is the important bit, you then have to put in your line of text, whatever it might be. So I'm going to put in tactical genius in the house. Oops. And of course I can't type that. So that's my line of text. Then you hit shift and number 2, and that is the end of your line of text, but it's not saved yet. It's not saved under number 1 as your shortcut key. It's not saved until you hit enter. So we've hit enter. Now, what we want to do is bring the macro up on the screen. So it says there, hit /M and then key, which it should say your shortcut key, whatever one you've saved it as, and that invokes the macro. That brings the macro up on the screen. So what you now do is you hit /M. You still then have to hit space. Then you hit 1. And then hit enter. So if I just move that out of the way, there you go, Tactical Genius in the house. So that is the macro saved as number 1. Now you would go through the same procedure again for another line of text if you want, whatever it might be, something that you use on a regular basis. Maybe you're posting a link for a regular tournament or something. You would then do /MAC space 2. Then do your open quotes by shift number 2 right in your line of text. Then end quotes and hit enter, and that would be saved as number 2. So that's how you do a macro. Now any numpty can follow that now. So good luck with it and try it out.